I didn't raise my voice. I didn't beg. When the phone rang and her name lit up his screen, I simply set down my fork and watched him answer. Her voice carried through the speaker. "I need you tonight." He didn't hesitate. He didn't look at me. He just stood, grabbed his keys, and left his half-eaten dinner cooling on the table. His mother sighed, like it was nothing. "Career comes first," she said, as if excusing him absolved the betrayal burning inside me. I smiled. "You're right," I told her. "It does." She mistook my agreement for obedience. She didn't see the storm behind my calm. We'd met in college. He was all ambition, all bright smiles and reckless promises. I loved him for the way he dreamed out loud. He loved me for how I steadied him, how I believed in the impossible right alongside him. For years we built our life brick by brick, my sacrifices mortared into his success. Every promotion he got, every door that opened, I'd been the silent architect. I worked the night shifts, skipped vacations, poured myself into the foundation we were supposed to share. He used to call me his anchor. But anchors, when inconvenient, are cut loose. The first cracks were small: late nights, emergency meetings, a cologne that wasn't his. Then one night, his phone buzzed on the nightstand. I didn't touch it. I didn't have to. The preview message glowed in the dark. "Can't wait for tomorrow. Same hotel?" I didn't wake him. I just stared at his sleeping face, memorizing the calm of a liar dreaming. That's when I understood. I wasn't his partner anymore. I was his cover story. Anger is loud. Revenge is patient. I said nothing, not to him, not to her. I smiled through holidays, kissed him goodbye in the mornings, and asked about his late nights with all the warmth of a dutiful wife. But silence gave me time. Time to gather the bank statements, time to copy the messages he forgot to delete, time to record the phone calls when her voice dripped through the line. Piece by piece, I built my case. Not in rage, but in precision. I met with a lawyer. I shifted money quietly into an account he couldn't touch. I found out exactly how much of his empire had my name etched into its walls. Then I waited. Which brings me back to that dinner. His mother's fork clinked against her plate as she scolded me gently. "You must understand, dear, for a man like him, ambition comes first. You have to support that." "I do," I told her, my smile steady. "Completely." 3 hours later, they would both learn just how completely I supported his ambition. When he returned that night, his tie loosened, his hair smelling faintly of her perfume, I greeted him with a glass of wine. "You look tired," I said softly. He nodded, relieved I wasn't asking questions. But I didn't need answers. I already had them. The next morning, he walked into work expecting business as usual. Instead, he found HR waiting with a sealed folder, the evidence I'd sent anonymously. Screenshots, recordings, proof of his after-hours mentoring with his boss. Company policy was clear: immediate termination, no severance, no references. By noon, his career was ashes. That evening, his mother called me, her voice shrill with disbelief. How could they do this to him, after everything? "They didn't," I said quietly. "I did." Silence. Then the line went dead. He stormed home hours later, eyes bloodshot, demanding answers. "You ruined me," he spat. I met his fury with calm. "No, you ruined yourself. I just turned on the lights." He laughed bitterly, accusing, begging, bargaining, all the stages of a man watching his kingdom crumble. Then I handed him the divorce papers. Filed, finalized, airtight. The house was mine. The savings account was mine. His car, already sold. Every brick I'd laid in his empire, I reclaimed. The final twist? His boss, the woman he thought was worth everything, cut him loose the second HR confronted her. She claimed he pressured her, that she was a victim. He was disposable. And just like that, the man who left his family dinner for her found himself with no career, no lover, no home. Only his mother remained, and even she couldn't look me in the eye when I passed her in town weeks later. I don't regret the years I gave him. They taught me patience, strategy, silence. But I'll never forget the night his phone rang, the night she said, "I need him tonight." Because that was the night I stopped being his anchor. That was the night I became the storm. And when it was over, when the pieces of him lay scattered across the life he thought he controlled, I finally exhaled. Justice doesn't shout, it whispers. And mine whispered in the ruins he called a future.